Welcome, ladies. Great to see you. Awesome. Hey, Rachel and Cameron, Caitlin, Karis, Charlene Juna. Man, I really wanted to nail it.
Yeah, it's okay. You still got it. Shalanjuna.
Awesome. Thank you. It's great to see you here. Bex is here and Deanne. Crystal. Crystal, you are sitting in a beautiful space. That is so fun. I was like, I want to be there. That's awesome. And Anna's here. Breezy's here. Hannah's here. Awesome. Great to be with you guys. If this is your first general group coaching call with me, my name is Bree. I'm one of the support coaches here. And Jenny is going to be moderating for us, taking your questions. I do want to make mention of a recent update we made. Jenny made a video in the group last week, so if you haven't seen it, you might want to go through the announcements to check that out. But we are going to ask if you have been coached already on a group coaching call this week, or you've been coached in a one-on-one, we're just going to start asking that you wait 3 days before requesting coaching in a group call, okay? Just to kind of keep some space and continue to give you the area you need in your own process to be cultivating connection with yourself and with God and with the people who are in your daily life, okay? So if you want more details on that, go ahead and check out that video and announcements. But as far as today goes, if it's been 3 days since you were coached or more, please let us know in the chat if you have a question. Jenny's going to keep track of all of those for us. You can just type, I have a question. That's great. And I would love to begin actually in prayer today. That's not something I typically do, but I'd love to start with that today. So I just want to invite you to find a really comfortable position for yourself. And really, when I walk you through an encounter, I'll invite you to really check in and see, are you comfortable? And if you're not, go ahead and shift your body to whatever you need. So yeah, get really comfortable. You can go ahead and close your eyes if you'd like. Take a couple of deep breaths. And just want to create a pause in the day. This is the middle of the day for most of us, so just want to bring some intentionality. I may be facilitating today, but your presence really matters here too. So thank you for your engagement. Thanks for showing up. It's important, it matters. Father, I just thank you that I get to be here and I get to participate. And I really want to consciously choose that you get to come in and do whatever you want to do today. And any fear of mine that pops up that says, no, you can't come in and do that, I just ask that you love me really hard in that space. And you pour more love there. God, I so honor that you have chosen to make yourself invisible, at least for now, so that you can experience us in us and through us, and we can experience you through each other. It's so profound to me, Lord, and I lift you up for that. I'm in awe of that. I'm amazed by that. I just ask that any disbelief that's hanging out, that just melt away. That each person on this call, whether they're live here now or watching it later on in a recording, that they would feel inexplainable, massive waves of love just coming to them. That they would taste of your safety and your goodness. And may we all feel your pleasure at being with us here today. Thank you, Jesus, for coming in a human body to show us who our dad really is. And we thank you, Holy Spirit, for the way you weave so many things in our life into meaning and connection. And all these things, we just thank you and we say amen. All right, guys. So good to be with you. Hannah, let's go ahead and begin with you. If you'd like to unmute yourself and let me know what you want to chat about.
Yeah, thanks for answering my question. I don't really know what my question is, but kind of want to just process a little bit what I've been going through. I've been in the program since like November, and this is like, I think I've got coach once on a call, but anyways, I'm on like encounters kind of portion, which is beautiful. I'm also going through like crazy life transition. I just left my job after like 8 years, salon job, and just kind of felt like God called me to kind of make space for what he has next. And whether that's, pursuing more of this program, but also like just deciding where I'm going to put my foot next as far as like where I'm going to go and what I still want to do hair. And, so it's just been crazy, like having that space, but also, stepping into like trust versus like striving and just being like, I gotta figure this out on my own. Like, I feel like I'd love to connect with like my little girl, cause she's like terrified. You know what I mean? And, or any times that I've tried to connect with her, she's been like scared. And, just trying to create that like safe place just to process and to get to know her more and to go on this journey together. But yeah, crazy life transition right now. And then I'm thinking about like renting like this big salon space, but it's like I can feel God like cheering me on, like you can do this, like you have what it takes. But there's also like this big risk involved. So it's just like, scary. But yeah, I mean, I guess just kind of, I would love to just like walk forward and make powerful decisions in freedom and peace and not, I guess it's a normal thing to be afraid of, like, what if this doesn't work out and worst case scenario and all of that. But yeah, I just want to like be a person that's free and just trust God and doesn't like strive or kind of that striving hustle, like weight that, I felt for all my life, to make up for what I didn't have as a kid or something. But I just feel like, I got this word too, that God just like wants to take care of me in this season too. And, that I don't have to do it all on my own. And so, yeah, I just want to like press into that. And
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So beautiful. Anybody else feeling like a disconnect between I really want to trust in what I've heard from the Lord, and also I've got these barriers kind of in my face in the physical. Yeah, the weight of the striving hustle. Yeah, Kara says that's really well put. Yeah, so you brought a lot of words to, I think, some things that quite a few people are feeling. So that's beautiful. That's the reciprocal gift here. So thanks for being willing to share today. Do you have a thought in your head? You kind of mentioned maybe encounter, but do you have a thought in your head of what you would like to spend our coaching interaction on?
Yeah, just like either encounter or prayer or yeah, something.
There's no right or wrong answer there. Sorry if that felt scary. I was curious if you had something in your mind specifically. So what I'm hearing is that you left something really stable, which that's a big step already. That's really beautiful. Have you celebrated that you took?
Yeah, I mean, kind of, but it's been this like, yeah, I did this thing, but like not fully, because I'm just like still terrified, or not terrified, just like nervous, excited. There's just been this like long-term nervous, excited kind of feeling, but yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's a really big deal that you already took that step. I see, it sounds like you're really wanting to connect with hope and like what's possible for the future. Am I picking up on that?
Yeah, definitely. And just like letting go of some of those like past mindsets of just growing up in a really unstable environment. And I think that was like pretty traumatic where when I joined the workforce, like I'm just like, I work really hard to, provide a different kind of life for myself. Um, but I don't want it to be like self-sufficient, you know what I mean? Of like kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and just at this, I'm not asking like a rhetorical question. I want to hear from you, like why is self-sufficiency something that doesn't feel like a good option to you, just as we're dialoguing here?
Yeah, I feel like I have this mantra that nothing forced is ever fruitful. So I feel like if you're like striving and like forcing something to happen, like it's not going to be fruitful. It's not like the best case scenario when we can, as like children of God, have like peace and in any circumstance and any like situation.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. I like to ask like the reasons why people are not going after certain things or going after certain things, because I think sometimes we get into that good bad mindset, like I'm just trying to be good and striving is bad, you know? And so
Yeah.
that's why I asked, just to kind of like explore that a little bit. But I think that's beautiful that you really want to make a life that's not around forcing things. It sounds fun. It sounds adventurous and receptive. What'd you say?
I said I'm a classic 7.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. Well, I would love to just kind of explore what your heart is saying and bringing to you in all this, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Okay. So if you want to just, again, make yourself comfortable, you can close your eyes, just kind of cozy down. And if you'd like to put your hand on your heart, you can. Yeah. And Hannah's heart, I just sense you being really open. And I just want to thank you for extending your trust to me. Yeah. And just that reminder that I like to share, that we're not here to fix you today. I'm not here to force you to the next step, make you trust God more. We're here to love on that little girl and see what she's needing. So Holy Spirit, in your wisdom, I just ask that you bring to Hannah's mind the first memory where striving and doing it alone felt like the way to provide for herself. Where did that originate?
I get like a vision of myself in like school or like growing up in like school. I went to a different school every year. So I had to like make new friends and like, figure that out. I mean, it feels like kind of random and not connected, but that's just like the first vision I get to of like, yeah, just having to be by yourself and like in this big new scary thing.
Yeah. Yeah, totally makes sense. Does it feel okay to picture little Hannah in that new school situation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just go ahead and picture her in your imagination and just kind of notice how old she seems to look, just roundabout.
Maybe like 11.
Yeah. Just start to take notice of what she's wearing and where in school she is. Is she in the classroom or outside? Just start to notice if there's any other people around. And as you're looking at her and you've got your hand on your heart, I just want you to become really aware of what she's thinking and feeling inside that 11-year-old body with all these new school changes.
I feel like she's like kind of wide-eyed and like excited, but also scared, like the same kind of feeling I feel now, kind of. Uh, yeah, just like picturing like in this cafeteria with like a bunch of people, and it's like new but vulnerable and scary, like new and exciting about like the opportunities, but like vulnerable and like what if they don't like me, or what if, I can't make friends or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Just kind of settle into that picture. You're kind of like a fly on the wall at this point, looking at her. You know what she's thinking and feeling. Nobody else is in tune to that in this scene. I just want your heart to start flooding with words and feelings you have for her, things you want to let her know. And I want you to start saying those things to her while she's in the cafeteria.
Just that everything will be better than okay, and that you're adorable and so much fun, and that you know you'll have like amazing friends and an adventure, and you are safe, and you're taken care of, and you're seen. And that you can just be yourself, that you don't have to be what other people look like or have the same story or feelings or journey or clothes or anything that anybody else has, but you can just be yourself, and that's enough, and that's amazing and beautiful.
I just want you to watch her and see if she's responding to that in any way.
She just like has like that childlike faith of like, yeah, like that's right. I am on.
When you were speaking to her, something that came to my mind or my heart was like I just wanted to whisper to her like, hey, this is just the weird space. It's just the weird in between space. And I hesitate because I don't want you to think that that's coming in an invalidating way or a minimizing way.
No, I feel like it is validating. That's like one thing that has been hard for me to connect with, is like validating your pain. And but like, yeah, to approach her and be like, this is weird and not that fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that like it's really amazing because you have had on one level a really strange experience with having to start over every year. That sounds tough, that sounds challenging, but also you have learned to navigate that. And you've like practiced it quite often. And so there's two sides to look at it. There's a side that maybe feels like something to grieve in some way, and that's valid. And there's another side of it where like maybe you could give yourself some credit because you've done this. You've navigated it. I mean, I want to hear honestly from you. That's one thing for me as an outsider to extrapolate, but it's another thing for you to know it. When you know it, it's pretty potent. So as I share that, does it feel true to you or no?
Yeah, and it in this season it makes a lot of sense of like craving the security and stability and consistency that I've known these past 8 years, and then, but the thought of going to something more unstable kind of brings up that, feeling. So I think it's like important to validate it, but I also don't regret, like, all my story of pain was really hard to do because I was that person that's like, oh, people have it way worse, and
Mm.
all of that stuff. But it truly, I just believe that every hard thing that you have been through, like it produces like a piece of your character, sometimes healthy, sometimes unhealthy, and it's like a part of who you are. And I'm like, I am thankful for that, like that story, because it's caused me to like be social and to learn these things. And
I believe you when you say that.
yeah.
I believe you. Yeah. That's amazing. I this just popped in my head that I'd love to kind of walk you through maybe some different possibilities of best case scenario. Does that sound fun?
Yeah.
Okay. You're so cute. Your whole face lit up. That's so fun. So feel free to close your eyes, just not because that's magic. It just helps with focus. Anybody else too, if you're struggling with any degree of anything, something that you really would like to shift or see differently, you can join in on this. And so Hannah, I just want you to see yourself kind of walking away from the salon that you just ended employment at. And I want you to, leave that shop, and you're walking down the street, and there's a door on your right-hand side. And as soon as you open that door, I just want to give your heart permission to come up with a best case scenario of what happens next to you. So you open that door, and what happens next in your story?
I drop into downtown London, and I get to work and assist at an amazing salon. And then I get to travel on the weekends to all around Europe to get inspiration and adventure and travel. And then I come home and then open a salon, and then pull like all that inspiration to create something really innovative and unique and beautiful for my community.
I got goosebumps all over. Okay, we're not done though. There's more. But wait,
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so that's door number one. Sweet. We're just gonna leave that one cracked. You can come back to it. Keep walking on the street.
We're like trying on clothes, aren't we?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, walking on the street.
Keep walking down that street. You're gonna see a different door on the right of you in that wall. It looks different. It's a different color, and the doorknob is really different. And as soon as you open it, you're going to see best case scenario number 2. So go ahead and open that door and just let me know what that is.
Best case scenario number 2 is I have like a small booth rent, like studio situation, and I do clients a couple days a week, and then the rest of the week I'm able to work at a restaurant, socialize, network, pursue creative projects with friends, and just have freedom and flexibility to travel and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay, keep your eyes closed. As you have that second best case scenario, is this evoking any emotion in you?
I just like feel like more free, I guess, not like lighter and not as much pressure.
And physically, where do you feel that freedom or that release of pressure?
Maybe more like in my heart area.
Cool. Yeah, there's not a right or wrong there. Just exploring that. Okay, leave that door cracked. I'm going out again. Yep. So as you keep walking down the street, you kind of see a brick wall. And inside that brick wall, there's another door. And this one is unique too. There's a window at the very top of it. And you try and peek into it on your tiptoes, but you can't really see. So go ahead and open that door. And what's best case scenario number 3?
That I would jump all the way in and, create this beautiful like salon space, multi-purpose kind of booth rental space of like different creatives, massage lashes, all like, have worship nights and community hangs and just going all in and renting this space and it being something really, really beautiful. And I have support and people that are on my team and helping me grow this business and still having that freedom and flexibility to travel and gather inspiration from different cities and cultures and educate myself and just create something, really beautiful for the community.
I see a lot of joy in that. Yeah, and actually you just got a comment, Hannah, you are a joy, right as I said that. It's a lot of joy in all of those. So just go ahead and connect back into like what's the emotion that's coming up. Is there anything in addition to what you described before?
I just like feel like a more of a heavier responsibility like with that option, but still like has like the freedom and like freedom to like be creative and but also like a heavier responsibility of like yeah I guess financially, which is scary.
It's beautiful though. I love that you had 3 options that intersect on the things that are most important to you, but they're each unique. There's a lot of possibilities within each of those. I just want you to check in. Has this been helpful for you today? And if it has, I want your heart to let you know which part of this has been most helpful.
I think it's though like weighing out the different possibilities and like the emotions that are connected with each one and how they vary. Yeah, just connecting with emotions in general of like is something I want to practice more and okay, how does this make you feel? Like what feelings are happening right now? And even descriptive words of like learning how to describe those feelings, I feel like that was helpful. And yeah, just always verbal processing is helpful for me.
Totally. So that's really good to know about you, that the verbal processing is important and to give yourself that, whether that's a friend or even just like turning your recorder on sometimes, just letting yourself talk. And then I love how you said you kind of wanted to practice more like weighing things and measuring things by like, okay, what emotion's coming up for me? What is that telling me about what's happening inside? Yeah. I think your ability to feel that you're like, I'm nervous but excited. I thought that was really powerful because a lot of times, especially scientifically on a nervous system level, like it can be hard to differentiate fear from excitement. That's something I've personally had to learn. Fear, excitement, caffeine, and Holy Spirit felt very similar to me. And the untangling all of those has been some years. So I'm not saying that's across the board for everybody, but that my nervous system has needed to learn that. So giving yourself the space to practice that and to, like you said, to be the coffee is holy for sure. Sorry, I just saw that. Giving yourself the space to kind of bring more language to what you're feeling is really important. And also, I heard a public speaker say this once, that if you are coming out on stage before you speak and you feel the butterflies and you feel nervous and that is like a sick feeling to you, just recognize that it's actually you're about to walk into a lot of energy, a lot of people whose energy is towards you, and that's all you're responding to. It doesn't mean you're bad or unqualified, doesn't mean like anything's wrong with you. You're just reacting to that. Now, sometimes we label that fear and it becomes something we try to avoid, right? We'll never public speak, we'll never take risks because I don't want to feel that way again. But what if it's just an indicator of like, ooh, we're on the edge of something, you know, like, and you kind of let yourself connect with the excitement portion of that. Is that making sense?
Totally.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Loved connecting with you today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on. Keep me posted on what unfolds next for you, okay?
Okay, sounds great.
All right. All right. Okay. So let's go to Breezy. We're going to go to Breezy next. And then we'll go back to Tavana afterwards. She needed a minute. Are you there, Breezy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There you are. It won't show me your face until you start talking. So now
Oh,
we're
sweet.
good. Hi. Hello.
Hello. This is my first time kind of talking. I've been holding off, and I guess that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Yeah, I just, throughout this whole process, I've recognized that I am kind of an oversharer. And then I kind of get left hanging a lot of times. I might share something really intimate, and then because I feel uncomfortable or something, I will shift to like, oh, I had this really bad experience with my second grade, blah, blah, blah. Oh, did you have a bad experience in second grade? To include them and not make them feel like they're sitting in it. But also I recognized when I was going through my story of pain, she asked like, is there anything that you can think of that you haven't shared with someone? And I really couldn't think of a lot because I'm very, very vulnerable. And I think like now I'm just getting really raw and numb. And just like, yeah, kind of stuck, but also don't feel like I can trust myself to not share because I'm kind of afraid of what happens when I don't share and I get too worked up in my head. Because the one time I didn't share, I got like crazy depression, which I didn't even know I had in me. So I'm like kind of stuck in this balance of like, how do I know when to share and when not to share? And like, how do I not like take away from that moment when I do choose to share with someone? Like, how can I sit in that even though it's just like, ooh, let me help you. Like I'm much better at helping other people than myself, I guess. And I know it creates space for the other person to be vulnerable, which I love that I can create that space. And so I've also kind of used it to manipulate others in a way that I can help them feel safe to where they can share. And now I'm at this point where I just don't feel like any conversation is worth it without that depth too. So it's just like this, I don't know if I even know what, like a fun, just like go get popcorn and only talk about the food kind of hangout is like. So.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I just, you're so enjoyable, number one. That's the first thing I'm experiencing of you. And you've got some comments in here of just like, wow, you're so real. Thanks for sharing this. Yeah, so I would love to spend just a little bit more time dialoguing to make sure I'm understanding you. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm hearing that you're like, you wear your heart on your sleeve. It feels very natural for you to share with other people. And then I kind of want to break it down so I can understand. Is it that after you share, you go, whoa, I feel exposed? Or is it after you share, you see the person reacting or not reciprocating at the same depth, and that's when you feel exposed and you start to like do something else?
I guess I feel like I'm this person that, I mean, I can go to the grocery store and someone will share their whole story with me, just in the checkout line. So I have this like amazing gift of like having people share with me. And I think I've gotten so used to just being like, oh, well, like it doesn't matter if like it takes me to be vulnerable to help you process through something. Um, and yeah, so I guess like it's hard for me to just sit in when I share something with someone, because I want to help them. And I think obviously like the issue here is that it's easier to help others than myself.
Okay, so that feels like
Um,
the thing that's rising to the surface. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so interesting. Is it so I'd love to hear more words about that. I feel it feels easier, or it feels better, or it feels more exciting to help other people.
Yeah, mm, I guess it adds to my worth maybe of like these people are walking away and they're like, wow, I've never had a conversation like that before. You think so deeply. And um I guess I'm not sure now that I've dug that hole how to get out of it maybe. Of like, okay, maybe today I can do that, but I don't have to feel obligated to do that tomorrow. Um yeah, I'm not sure if that's answering your question.
That's okay. We're just exploring more. Yeah. I'm not leading you to a certain place. I'm just like curious about you, because I think this is really cool how you've noticed it about yourself. And I don't hear a lot of judgment about
Mm.
yourself. You're like, this is an amazing gift, but I am feeling, it sounds like you're feeling that something is off here, and you kind of want to know what that is. So I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I guess I'm kind of stuck with I just write all these little like lists, and I just kind of have this little path of like overshare, too much, codependent, deep connection, being known, how to have boundaries. Couldn't
Yeah.
think of anything, just like all this like stuff. And then at the end of it, my like final destination is like, you're too much. And because you share too much, you have no voice. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I guess that's really like stumped me of like it's a gift, but then I also feel like I drop too much on people and then I lose my voice. Yeah, so I'm just like, how do I balance this?
Yeah. Okay. I'm so here with you. I just want to understand more. So like, does it feel like vulnerability is like a currency in your world instead of like a gift?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. If I trade you my like bad experience, you'll trade me one back. Yeah.
And do you find like, I know you mentioned the grocery store, so that's happening, people opening up to you and you're like, yep, it's a gift. That's good. That's good that you recognize that. In your own friendships or with your family, how does it feel when someone is not able to reciprocate at the same depth?
If I do share and they don't reciprocate, I might feel like, oh man, I overshared. I'm too much of a burden. And you can see the kind of glaze go over their eyes, like, whoa. And I've been told I'm too much. And I've been told, like, um, do you always have to make things serious? Or, like, can you just have fun? Um, yeah. So I know, like, it's unevenly balanced right now. I feel like I leave wanting more, and then when I leave after I've shared, I start to be like, oh, I was too honest. I hope I didn't hurt them. Oh, I hope that they don't feel this way about me and that way about me. Um, yeah, so it's just like I'm a verbal processor, but it also messes me up. And I can share too much and then not um actually create the change, because I feel like sharing can be like a passive response versus an active response. Yeah.
Can you think of a recent example where it felt like sharing was a passive thing?
Mm, uh yeah, I guess like last night I had journaled all day. I read through all of my journals and was just like, oh my gosh, I have such a cycle. And I was just trying so hard to like not talk with people about it and not share it. And then I ended up sharing it with my grandma because it's like super easy for me to do that with her. And yeah, I guess I don't know, maybe I could have just sat with it. But I have a tendency to, when I have breakthroughs or things, want to share them. And then I feel like it loses its value a little bit, maybe. Because I just didn't sit with it with myself. Yeah.
Yeah, this is, man, I just feel like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Like this journey is so good. I don't even know where it's going, but I just think it's so cool what you're experiencing. Could it be that you're looking to actually have like some things be sacred to your heart? Like you're looking for connection with your own heart and you're not finding it when you turn to other people?
Yeah, I think I just I don't know if I know how to keep something sacred. Like I said, if they ask me the question, is there anything I haven't shared? It's like, I don't think I really have thought so hard about it, and I've confessed everything that I can think of. It's just like I am an open book. So I think like I haven't even given myself the space to have something sacred for like fear of like, oh, but what if it wasn't a good idea to not share that? Or maybe this will control me. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like so frustrating. And
Yeah.
I kind of just lost trust in myself once I did hit a low depression. Because I was like trying so hard to be independent and not share. And during that season, and then it ended with that. And so I was like, crap. Maybe I just have to keep sharing everything so that I don't ever get to a space where I can't trust myself.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really amazing and worthwhile, I think, what you're diving into. Would you be open to kind of doing some heart connection or an encounter just to explore this inside of God's presence? Not that we're not in his presence now, but just
Yeah.
to kind of give the logical side of your brain some rest. So we're not here to cut that out or demonize that or hate on that. We're all learning how to walk in wholeness and the both sides, right? Both sides of
Yeah.
our head and our heart on the same page. Yeah. So we're all learning how to do that and what that even looks like. So I'd be curious to see kind of what images are going to pop up for you. So
Yeah.
it looks like you're in a space where it feels safe to close your eyes. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Well, you can just cozy on down. You can put your hand on your heart if you want. And yeah, Breezy, your heart is beautiful. The willingness to be seen and known here is amazing. I just want to know that you just showing up and being you today has been a gift to everybody here. I love that you're seeking understanding. And I love that you've just extended curiosity towards yourself. So, Holy Spirit, I just ask that you bring to Breezy's mind the root memory where this begins, where this relationship with vulnerability began. Would you just untangle that and show Breezy where this originated? Any impressions coming up? Any scenes or memories? Yeah.
Yeah. I think in college, my brother and I had a falling out, and we were best friends. And we were living in the same dorm, and he was in leadership, so I couldn't talk about a lot of what was going on with other people to try not to sway how he was looking. And I just remember how raw it felt. And I just remember saying to myself, people don't know me, people don't understand me, because they don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And the only way that they can understand why I'm like acting this way, is because of if they understood what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like me right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that that's a key part. I wish I could think of a time when I was younger.
Well, you
All
don't
I,
have to. You don't.
yeah.
You don't have to make any memory come up. Not at all.
Mm,
But let's just see. Let's just see if you close your eyes again. And Holy Spirit, this statement of people don't understand me. Does this have any roots in childhood?
all I can think of is like staying back in second grade and getting in trouble before they made that decision because I gave my homework to someone else to do so I could do artwork. um, and just feeling like they were testing me for learning disabilities and things. And I remember it being like, I just wanted to do art, like nothing's wrong with me. Yeah, and having to prove from that point on I'm an academic, not an artist.
Yeah. Wow. Can we dive into that a little bit more?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was, you said second grade?
Mm-hmm.
So can you picture second grade you? Maybe
Yeah.
you're called into an office where you do special testing.
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to see little Breezy sitting there. And I want you to tune into what she's thinking and feeling in that moment.
I'm definitely hearing why am I here? And I don't remember thinking this, but it came into my head like maybe if I mess up on this test, then they'll think there's a problem and then they'll be able to fix whatever they're trying to figure out. But also contradicting that with no, like I'm smart. I don't have to make this mistake just to like make them feel better about their decision.
Yeah. So I want you just to observe that scene. How little you is considering making a mistake to appease the grown-ups. And part of her sounds like she's also wanting to prove that there's nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want you to let that whole scene freeze, whoever the other adults are in the room. Just that whole scene freezes, except for little you. And I want you to see grown-up you stepping into the room and just getting down on your knees right in front of her and looking her in the eyes and say, I'm listening to you. Say, tell me everything. Yeah. And once she tells you everything, just say, what else? And let me know as you're there with her if you're hearing her say things. I have a sense she may be talking, but it may not be in words. That's okay if no English is coming to you. But if it is, you can share.
I just see like a lot of explanation in the eyes, you know, like when someone just looks at you and you can just like see, like, I see what you're kind of thinking or going through. I just feel like what a gift if someone had got on their knees and just let me explain. Yeah, just feeling that need to like, wait, just give me one more chance to explain. But yeah, I don't know if there's like direct words. I see it like almost even testing out with myself, like, wait, are you safe? Will you help me out? Like I want to hug you, but are you even safe? Are you going to be the one that's got my back? Yeah, like that trust in myself even.
Wow. So I'd like to share with you my thoughts, if that's okay. But I also want you just to take them with open hands because you're inside of you. I'm not. So you and God can start dialoguing about this. In fact, I feel an impression to say your spirit and God have already been dialoguing about this, but you're becoming aware of it in your body and in your life. That's why lately it's been like, oh my gosh, I do this. That's so interesting. Okay. So your spirit and God are already communicating on this. So it's nothing's wrong or you're not behind here. I guess I want you to feel held that this is already something God is aware of and loving you in. But I feel like there's a little girl asking to be heard and believed. And so what if in these oversharing moments, that's all that's happening is a little girl asking to be heard and believed. And so it plays into your gifting and it kind of muddles it up because you're like, this is a strength. I see how other people feel invited into this, but it's also, there's another element to this. And so the tangle of that can be confusing because, right, we're not here to cut off a beautiful part of you, but we're here to love on a part of you that may be operating out of a belief like nobody's going to believe me, nobody's going to understand me, nobody's going to take the time to hear me even. What are your thoughts as you hear all that?
Yeah, I just feel like I've been on the defense for a lot of years. sometimes we get to play offense, but I think I've been trying to explain myself and prove myself, and even to the extent that, like, I don't know, fourth grade teachers would have me pray for them, and it was such an amazing gift, and I don't underestimate the beauty of the power of prayer and this relationship I have with the Lord. But also, like, was there some responsibility in that wasn't necessary? Yeah, just like, the first thing that comes to my mind when you say that is sitting by my fireplace in my house, just arguing with my parents, like, but what about this? What about that? What about my friends? What about this? Are you sure that you're making the right decision? Like, I just want to stay. Like, they're going to think this about me. They're going to think that about me. And yeah, just like entering into that space of just total defensiveness and, sorry, we have to make this decision for you. Yeah.
So this could be a really tender area to keep loving on. And one of the ways to do that is like what we just did. And then your brain offered you another memory that you can really climb back into.
Yeah.
And maybe pause everybody else and go in there and, maybe ask Jesus to come in with you. And
Yeah.
Jesus, what does this little girl need? What does this age of me need? So that she can grow up, right? Because the thing that I'm really struck with in your story is, like, you have a definite gift here, and I really think God is in the maturation business. And it's not a business, it's relationship, it's family. He fathers us, but he doesn't give us gifts to ruin our lives, right? It's like that, like, he doesn't do that. So he's rooting for you too, and he's wanting to partner with you too in your own, like you are so intricate. Like, each human being is so intricate, but I'm speaking to you directly right now. Like, you are intricate, and you shouldn't be simple. You shouldn't be. You're amazing. You're a creation. And so God's the one that knows how to untangle us without damaging anything else. So I think this is really a beautiful journey. I love your curiosity. I love what else starts to unfold and come up for you in an effortless way, just insights that you're going to get as you move through your day. Like, oh, this makes sense. Just the more things make sense in our past, the more it feels safe to bring compassion in. And maybe even that college memory of you with your brother, going in and talking to her, listening to her, looking in her eyes. Yeah. Do those things feel accessible to you as you move forward?
Yeah, I guess it's intimidating in the sense that I've been sitting in pain for a long time. But I think it's exciting because I think, like, I can sit in pain for a long time and just almost become friends with it. Like you said, kind of that exchange of, like, I've been giving pain a lot of my money. So I guess in the sense of knowing that there could be freedom around the corner once I get to the core, it feels accessible in that sense. The drive makes it accessible, I guess.
That's cool. And I think it may be neat to explore what your own thoughts are on what vulnerability is. How do you understand it? What is it to you? How do you experience it? And then ask God if there are any more components to vulnerability that he'd like to show you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Connect with you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Do you have any other thoughts you wanted to share before we wrap up?
I guess just that, going back to that, when I have those encounters or I have those spaces that I'm entering into, knowing when to share and when, like, that's just mine. Yeah, I guess just like thinking about going and sitting in those, my natural instinct already is like, you'll never believe what I walked through today. But I just don't, I mean, obviously it's recorded, but like with my family and whatnot, like also just sitting in this for myself. Yeah. Knowing that. Yeah. Not sure exactly what that boundary is.
Totally. And I don't know what it is for you either. Just the bummer, right? Is like,
Yeah.
no, I'm like, oh, good news. I'll just forward you the PDF. It's 86 pages. You got this, right?
That's the ideal.
Just memorize it and you're good to go. I think the magic here for you is going to be hearing that little defensive screaming girl inside of you. Maybe she's not screaming, but she's getting your attention of, they're not going to believe me. When you feel that, when you hear that, just practicing the pause and saying, I hear you. Even if it falls apart, even if you overshare and you're like, I did it again, even if all that happens, no problem. What if just the point right now is to acknowledge and pause, like, okay, I hear you.
That's amazing, because the Lord gave me the word pause and I thought it meant stop like what I'm doing, but I just can see how that applies so much to the pause of listening. What a word choice.
That's awesome.
Good job, Briw.
That's awesome. So fun. Oh my gosh. Please keep me posted. This is really, really beautiful. So
Thank you.
thank you.
You.
Have a good afternoon, okay?
Thank you.
So fun, you guys. And I just feel like I want to let you guys into what was happening inside of me in that, just so I feel like I really want to share more of that to empower people and empower you in your relationship with yourself and also in your relationship with others, so that you can just practice listening and being with people. What was happening for me was I had no idea what this was about. And so I guess I want to say that, because this is not like I'm special and gifted and it takes a long time to get into my position. I'm practicing with you guys how to not need to have the answer in my head of what somebody needs, but just showing up and listening. And so letting my genuine curiosity lead me, instead of like, I've got to have the answer. I've got to have the solution here. And so that's why I like was really honestly curious, like, oh my gosh, okay, so you just said this, is it like this? So I was repeating back to her so that we could come to some kind of mutual understanding of what's happening inside her, which is helpful for both parties, right? In any relationship, like coach to client or friend to friend, just like, okay, I'm hearing you say this, is that what you mean? So that we can go back and forth, so that we're both looking at a similar picture. And from there, we both get kind of surprised and get to partake in the enjoyment of like, wow, like this is really cool. And this makes a lot of sense why you're tracking these emotions with maybe this memory. So for whatever it's worth, just kind of wanted to show you what I was experiencing on my end. So thanks, Breezy. All right, guys, Tavana, you are up. And it's so fun that I get to see you.
It's so incredible seeing you, Bree. I am so excited. I wish I'm really sad right now, but I'm so excited to see you.
I feel it.
Yes.
Great to be with you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Bree, oh my gosh. So I've been feeling really hopeless lately. But I'm reconnecting to hope by hopping on this call right now. Like my heart, it just feels like it's thriving right now. I needed this. I haven't been on a call for a really long time. Let's see. So I know I want to focus our coaching time on hopelessness. Because even yesterday it was just so overwhelming, that state, that feeling. I wish I was able to catch it sooner, but I wasn't able to. It was just overwhelming. It was desperate. It felt like depression, but I knew it was hopelessness. And I heard God, saying to me he wanted to reconnect me to hope. And in that state, so yesterday, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now.
It's okay.
I was like, Lord, what is something practical I can do right now to reconnect to hope? Because it was just overwhelming, right? So he was giving me instructions and all of that. So my thing is, I'm wondering if you can help me like create a plan. My brain is all over the place. So I have all this, like I'm processing right now, huge pieces of paper. I look like just, oh my goodness. So Proverbs 13:12, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. I feel like God was saying, my spirit yesterday, I was like, Lord, 911, 911. My heart was just screaming 911. And I just felt like it was like an emotional emergency. And that has happened before when I was in that state of depression. Anyways, I feel that now. I feel like I'm in a 911 situation, like an emotional emergency, and God is wanting to reconnect me to hope. So if that makes sense. And I'm also reading Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. I'm like, Lord, I want that. I need that now. He's like, I know, but in the word I'm getting is patience, which doesn't feel good when I feel like I'm in a 911 emotional emergency. But no, he's giving me peace as I pray, and that's good. So some practical things that I'm doing, Bree, just to reconnect to hope. So after this call, I'm hopping on, Danny Silk has like this meditation for hopelessness that I'm going to be doing. So that'll be like an hour, just so that I can process like where this is coming from, where those pain points are. So I'm going to be hopping on and doing like a Danny Silk thing. I have this book like that I need, like it's called The Hope Quotient. And it talks about the power of hope, how we need to stay connected to hope. God is hope. So I hope I'm not rambling too much, but, and then also I felt like the Lord was encouraging me to, let me see. Let me breathe, because I haven't been breathing a lot. Hold on. Because I'm not doing good right now. I'm not.
Do you mind if we just take some time to breathe?
Thank you.
Let's do that. Yeah. And anybody can join. Yeah. Are you sitting down, or are you able to sit down?
Yeah, I'm sitting down. For
Okay,
sure.
cool. Yeah.
Whew, my gosh. So this call just so feels like a lifeline. It just feels like, oh my gosh, like God, I'm in a safe place now. Whew, so I can breathe.
Yeah. So that's all we're going to do. We're going to breathe 7 times. And all I want you to focus on, honey, is your exhale being longer than your inhale. You don't have to count. I just want your exhale to be longer. Okay. Anybody else can join in with that. Yeah. Just 7 times. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. You're doing great. Doing great. So Tavana, I just want you to keep breathing that way, okay? And
Thank you.
I want to create a picture for you to imagine in your mind. Does that feel okay?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, just keep feeling that exhale, okay? Yeah, you don't have to count. Just keep feeling the exhale.
Okay.
I want you to picture the feast in Psalm 23.
Okay. Okay.
Okay? Just want you to see that feast. I want you to see candles on the table and all your favorite foods, sweet things, beautiful things to drink, beautiful plates and cutlery. It's a very luxurious tablecloth. Yeah. I just want you really to focus in on that. Notice what time of day it is.
Okay.
I want you to start to sense God's presence. And it's okay if that doesn't feel physical or emotional to you right now. I just want you to let your heart feel whatever aspect of God's presence you're able to.
Okay.
Okay, so just be looking at that feast. And I so hear your heart on this hopelessness. I so hear you. It sounds really scary, and it sounds like an unnatural state for you, which I know can bring more fear, because you are a powerful woman, and you are an encouraging woman, and you are full of lots of hope. So I know that hopelessness feels really threatening. What I'd love to do is, instead of seeing hopelessness as an enemy today,
Okay.
can we see hopelessness as something we're just going to invite to this table and interview?
Okay.
Does that feel accessible to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to see yourself in a really beautiful chair at this table.
Oh.
You can see Jesus lifting his cup to you, acknowledging you, glad that you're here.
Wow.
You can feel Holy Spirit around that table and the Father there. So hopelessness is completely outnumbered if it tries to pull any punches, okay?
Mm.
And I'm going to give you the authority to invite hopelessness to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you're ready, I just want you to go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and say, hopelessness, you can come and sit at my table.
Yeah. Hopelessness, you can be here.
Mm-hmm.
I see hopelessness. I see that.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah. When you're ready, I'd love for you to ask hopelessness what it is teaching here.
Wow. This is something I literally need to write out. So that's powerful. Can I just share?
Please.
So when you just that encounter right there. So I'm just reminded of Psalm 23 when it says that God prepares a table before us in the presence of our enemies. So I saw this table full of like the most delicious food. I was reminded of Thanksgiving. And here I am in this there's the table laid out, and what it looked like around me though was just so much darkness. It was pitch black. I don't know if that gives you any insight, but pitch black. And when I invited hopelessness to the table, it didn't, at first I thought it was me. I'm like, okay, is that me? But then the form changed, and it looked like a blob, like not a person, but like a form of a blob or something. And there were multiple of them, and they were at my table. And they were under arrest. Like, it wasn't like, which sounds so strange. That's new. This is like, anyways, they weren't there to eat with me, but they were at my table. Here I am sitting down, Jesus is there. And that's where it kind of stopped for me, because you asked me, okay, hopelessness, what are you teaching me? And I see hopelessness as these blobs, these dark, I don't know. I can talk to them, but I don't know if that's me, if I built hopelessness up to be like this huge enemy. I see them as demons or whatever. But in this encounter, that's what I see. I see blobs, and I can talk to them and they can talk back to me, but I don't know if I want to. Mm-hmm. I can. I think it would be freeing too. I think they would like to. I don't know. I don't know if that would be safe though.
Just want you to check in with yourself physically,
okay.
Emotionally. How you doing?
Okay. I feel afraid. Okay. Like, I feel afraid, like that encounter, like, and just where I'm at in that place, like I know I don't have to fear, because it's, that's what the Psalm says, do not fear, but I do feel afraid. But it does comfort me that Jesus is in the room and I see him. So it's like, okay, I'm afraid, but it's manageable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if I'm hearing you right now, hopelessness feels kind of like a monster. There's multiple and they're bigger than you.
I'll say yes, they feel like a monster. There's multiple of them. There's a lot of them, but I don't feel like they're more powerful than me. I see them as weak. Mm. I have compassion for like my table is, I'm like, so many enemies. There's a lot of them. They're around my table and whatnot. I've invited them to my table, all of that, but I don't feel like they're particularly like strong. I feel like I have authority to, I don't know.
Yeah. Does it feel okay to go back into that scene to have a dialogue with Jesus?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
I could do that.
Just kind of let whatever's happening around the table be the periphery.
Okay.
And just go back to seeing Jesus raising his glass to you.
Okay.
He acknowledges you. He's glad you're here. He's not concerned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And remember, this is the wisdom of God in a body. Okay. This is not just a nice
so good
man.
Right.
It's the culmination of all the intelligence of God, all the wisdom of God, the compassion and the emotion of God.
Wow.
And God is for you.
Wow.
So I want you to ask him, what do I need to know about this hopelessness?
God, what do I need to know about this hopelessness? Immediately I heard it's under control. Immediately. Like, but I want to sit in that and for a bit.
Yeah, do so.
Yeah. I'm giving you an authority over hopelessness. I want you to see, and he's calling them enemies. These enemies about you, I'm giving you authority. And you have that authority. So this is really powerful, Bree. What I have a tendency to do all the time is I'll come out of these encounters, and because I feel such a pressure to write things down, because if I don't, it's like, okay, I'm not going to remember these things. But I feel like it disrupts the encounter. It's like God is speaking. It's like, oh, I have this fear. Like, if I don't write this down, I'm not going to remember. Of course, I can listen to this. I can listen to this replay. But when I'm doing God encounters by myself, it's like, okay, they're always just, I feel like they're constantly being disrupted because I have this need to, you know, to write things down or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And
maybe I need to, I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's best just to like let that go, let go of the desire to write things down so I can figure things out later, so I can, you know, fix things and just let the entire God encounter just flow. And what I remember at the end is what I remember at the end, I guess. Is that just?
I can relate to, like, I got to write it down.
Mm-hmm.
I get that a lot, and I've had to tell myself many times, my spirit is making a record of this, my heart is making a record of this. It's my mind that may not remember it at the front of my head all the time. And so that's what I know, is that if small things that happen in childhood made such big impressions on me in positive and negative ways, then I am absorbing lots of things. And so when I am consciously aware that I'm in the presence of God, how much more am I absorbing?
Oh my gosh. That was life-changing. And that literally right there. Because that's an amazing belief system. And that really, like, that takes away the pressure and the stress. Like, I did not. So our spirits, our hearts are keeping a record for sure. And that's true. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's powerful. Can we go back to that last point and then I'll just let it flow? I'm dropping my pen right now.
Go for it.
Okay. I asked Jesus, what was it? Anyways.
He said he's given you authority over
Okay.
him. So I would be curious to hear what that authority looks like.
Oh, yes, Jesus. What does that authority look like? Okay. I heard love and compassion. And in this encounter, I'm gigging up and I'm going around the table, and like these blobs, they're arrested. They can't hurt me. They can't attack me. They can't harm me. But I'm going around this table and I'm giving hugs. I'm giving hugs to these blobs. I can't even really hug the blob, but it's like a prophetic act, I guess, I'm doing in this encounter. It's just like I'm blowing kisses. I'm trying to give hugs. I'm trying to, like, you know, rub backs and just, like, you know, thank you for the gifts that you have given. I know, you know, that wasn't your intention to bless me, but you so have, and I thank you for those things. And I'm not getting much interaction back, but I see me going around the table of these blobs, these enemies, and just love and compassion. And the Lord, I just hear this laugh in the spirit that's so huge. And it's not even just Jesus laughing. I hear the Father laughing. It's just this laugh in the spirit. So huge. And I feel like God is saying, I'm teaching you how to love your enemies, but I'm not just teaching this to you, I'm teaching this to others. And you're going to be releasing this. And, I feel like, okay, like sharing like testimonies or whatever, because I know like I definitely want to step out and share, more at church, like what's going on with me and whatnot. So I feel like, oh my goodness, Lord. So anyways, I'm sorry. I'm verbally, would you call it, like processing. There's just a lot. I feel like he's encouraging me. I feel like he's depositing a lot right now. Oh gosh. So I can definitely sit in that, but
Yes.
that was amazing. I can continue the rest of that on my own, Bree. Can I connect with you just for a little while longer on just some practical bits? I'm sorry, like that's who I am, Jesus. Like I love the God encounters, but I need the practical stuff, like connecting to hope practically. My gosh. Okay, because I'm going to finish that. What is it? How can I practice hope? Like we hear about practicing gratitude, and that's great, but how can I practically connect to hope? Connecting to Jesus, like, okay, but how do I connect to the hope in Romans 15:13? May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace, and as you trust in him. Like, how do I practically connect with hope in that? If that makes sense.
It does make sense. And
Okay.
I respect and I honor your desire for practicals for sure.
Thank you.
Totally relate to that. I think for me, and what I'm sensing is that because your heart feels tender, in fact, your heart is saying 911. If I give you practicals, I'm a little bit concerned you're going to beat yourself up with them.
That's true. Darn. Okay. That's smart.
But I say that because I understand it.
No, that was good. That's why you're the coach, Bree. That was a good one. Oh man. Okay.
The profound thing is, and I'm just going to use the example because you shared it. It's not a right or wrong thing, but you could go to Danny Silk's thing and glean some great stuff from it. You could, but if you are looking at hopelessness as something to escape because it's wrong and it's bad and you're bad and something's wrong and you got to fix it today, you're coming from a heart space of lack.
Okay.
And fear.
Can you repeat that, please?
We'll see if I can remember.
That was really good. You're saying, so you like what I heard was, if we look at hopelessness as like as an enemy of sorts, we're operating from a place like of lack. So I'm reminded of like a poverty mindset or a victim mindset. It's like if we see it from like a different perspective, like hopelessness is a gift. I don't know. Hopelessness is, I don't know. So if you could repeat that, so I
right.
can.
And I'm not suggesting that we're all like in denial and we're like hopelessness is a gift.
Right.
Not doing that. But
right.
If it's something to defeat, if it's something that's bigger than me, if it's something that's above me, then I'm already losing, right? If I'm in a battle, then it puts me on the defense. When I'm seated with Jesus and I have access to the human in the universe who knows the Father and who knows me, then I have access to all things. I have access to the love that's needed, the compassion that's needed, the wisdom that's needed. So it's like a different thing. If you're going to Danny Silk's thing or any other tool, if you're going to that to honestly meet yourself in love and compassion, that's a beautiful thing. If you're beating yourself up because you got to fix hopelessness, that's going to have a different result. You know what, Savannah? There's going to be people in that group who show up for Danny Silk's thing on both sides today. We're not here to judge that. We're here to learn inside of ourselves. What's my motivation for showing up to this? Am I a thing that needs to be fixed with a webinar? Or am I needing some breathing, some sitting, some dwelling?
Wow. Okay. So my motivation is completely to fix and heal and to defeat hopelessness and all of that, because the belief, or I guess hopelessness, me feel powerlessness. Does that make, oh, did that sentence make sense? Hopelessness. Oh, hopelessness makes me feel powerless. Powerless, yes. So, but that's not true, and I see that in the God encounter that we just did. So I have authority. So that was a lie I was believing. And so thank you for that reminder. The tools are great, but tools are great, but not for the purpose to fix or to solve, but to meet ourselves with love and compassion. That's so different. I have to do that with this program, because here I am, I'm going through the content again, and I'm just wanting to okay, let me actually understand, let me get this stuff in. Okay.
So do you remember the parable in the Bible of you remember the one about the seeds, and the different seeds fall on different ground? Okay, so there's that aspect, but I want to talk about the one, and I don't have the reference in my head right now, but the one where the farmer plants the seed and goes to bed and wakes up in the morning and there's sprouts.
Oh yeah,
you guys, that's our orientation in the kingdom. We don't know how it happens, but the sprouts come up. So there are seeds in you that you may not even recognize. There are more seeds being planted today that are going to grow up and produce fruit. Now, the action and the activity that we do can be many times rooted in, I got to make this grow faster. It's got to be faster. I need to fix
That's me. Right.
Totally. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I get it. So what if there is some comfort in knowing, thank God, I'm not in charge of making things grow. I plant things. I water them. I feel like that's what you did today. When you showed up for the call, and because your heart was saying 911, you were like, this call feels like a lifeline, right? And I honor that felt really, those two things in that moment. But another way to look at today for you is I'm watering some things inside of me, because I trust that God makes the things grow.
Okay. Wow. So good.
And what's really tricky about this is you're going to see some people around you meditating and doing yoga and doing morning routines and centering into themselves. And you're going to see other people running marathons and running businesses, and you're going to be like, well, this is good and this is bad. It's all about the heart posture. You can thrive in yoga and you can be totally at rest in business. So don't look at the people around you for how to live. This is why we have to be connected to God in an actual relationship with him. Dad, you know me best. What's my next step?
That was all Holy Spirit. So I need to rewatch all of that, right there. That's so me. That's so me. Sadly, looking to this person over here, looking to that person over there, and getting in that, so striving. And oh, wow. Okay, you have me speechless over here, Briw. There's a lot. I have nothing else. This is good. Yeah, no, thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Wow.
You got it. You got this. You got this. Not because you have to do it or produce it, because you're a child of God. Period.
Because I'm always losing touch with this part, because I have a tendency to focus on growth and pound things in. Like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like I'm not connecting with this belief really. I want to be at ease. I want to be in rest in my walk with the Lord, but it's like, I guess there are a lot of temptations around us. Like we do, like, I love YouTube. I love watching the morning routines. I love watching the people who clean their houses in like an hour and they inspire you to clean and all of that. Like, I love all of that. Like, that's what I watch for fun. So it's like, yeah, do you have any, I don't know, like any tips or resources for how I can more practically connect with that belief? Because I don't know. Oh my gosh.
Come here.
Or mantra, or I'm sorry. Yes.
Come close. What if you're already doing it?
Really?
What if it's already happening?
Oh my gosh. That would be amazing. Yeah.
There's two things going on here. There's probably more, but there's two things at least. You have a beautiful design that is meant to be connecting dots and understanding things. So we're not going to cut off your design. But there's another aspect of this where you're being invited into rest deeper than you've known.
Whoa.
It's okay. It's okay if you need to, like, push and pull against that a little bit. If it feels foreign, it's okay. There's time. There's time for that.
Okay.
I don't have the practicals because I don't know them.
And I don't need them. We don't need them. It's fine. Oh my gosh.
So what, you're such a delight. What if moving forward, your only homework, if you really want some homework, your only homework was to acknowledge, just like previously with Breezy, and if your only thing is to acknowledge, oh, I really want a tool right now. Oh my gosh, if I could just have a tool.
Right.
Acknowledging that. And maybe you reach for a tool. Maybe you do. Okay, that's okay. But just stopping to say, wow, I want to fix something. I want to fix something right now. And I'm going to reach for a insightful video on YouTube, or I'm going to reach for an emotional health tool, or I'm going to reach for just noticing how often you do that and what the circumstances, just to bring some awareness for that.
Okay. That's really good. That's helpful. Thank you, Bree.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. Great. Keep me posted, okay?
I will.
Okay. So cool. So fun, you guys. All right. Before we move to the next person, somebody asked about the farmer planting overnight. So I just looked that up real quick.
Oh.
And the verse I was looking at, let me just click on this real quick, is Mark 4. And starting in 26, Jesus also said, the kingdom of God is like a man who scatters seed on the ground. Night and day, whether he sleeps or gets up, the seed sprouts and grows, though he does not know how. All by itself, the earth produces a crop. First the stalk, then the head, then the grain that ripens within. So that is that's Mark 4:26 to 28. Something to chew on if you're interested. Anybody who was curious about that. Okay, cool. All right, Kathy, you are next. Kathy, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was muted.
Great to see you, Kathy. Great to see you. How you doing?
You too. I'm pretty good. I can go in a lot of different directions, but I think the one that's most prominent, and I know I missed your encounter calls. Perhaps, and if you feel led to, of course, by the Holy Spirit, as far as an encounter regarding, I guess I have coding because I was listening to Laura Duncan. The coding is for anxiety. I don't want to like confess it, but I also want to be real, I guess. I'm still
Yeah.
trying to learn when I should say things and how much, because they have
Me too.
power.
I know. I'm learning that too.
And as far as, huh? Yeah. And so I know I struggle with anxiety, and I know when in our one-on-one, I was telling you I was trying to get off the medicine. Can you hear me okay? Because you're red. You're okay. You're red and yellow. My signal for you is red and yellow. Are you okay? Okay. Um, and started thinking back to when I was a kid about my anxiety and the roots and all that. And I know my mom used to have debilitating panic attacks, like really bad. That's what I guess back when there wasn't any medicine. And obviously that was rooted in her childhood, and she doesn't have the good fortune of this program, I suppose. Hopefully I can talk to her about it, but that's another story. These panic attacks were frequent. They were quite frequent. And I would sit hopeless in the background and watch my sister help her. Like my mom's nails would dig into her skin, and she couldn't go to the bathroom by herself. My sister would help her, and I'd be in the background, like, what's going on? And so I think that's where some like coding for anxiety and how to deal with it comes from, and from seeing that, having those experiences with my mom. So I didn't know if I could have some healing to that pain. Maybe that would, I don't want to fix my anxiety, but part of me does, because I hate that. I'm trying not to hate that side of me, but if I could just lean into that and just pour some love onto that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it feel safe to picture that scene?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got some lullaby music playing in the background, and I've got my dad's pillow here.
I love that. You guys, look at how she's taking care of herself. I love that. She's supporting herself by having the music and having the pillow. I love that.
I miss my dad a lot. So it's a pillow that I gave him for Father's Day, and he passed in 2005. So I miss him a lot, but he was my protector, So
right.
Anyway.
Yeah. So Kathy, just go ahead and take a deep breath. Take a couple more. Yeah. You can just keep your eyes closed. Keep breathing. Just keep focusing on your breath. Yeah. Kathy's heart, I see you. I see you.
I feel like some doctors.
I'm sorry. It just cut out. It looks like yeah, the connection is a little bit tricky. You were saying something about the doctor?
Oh no, I just I started to say something. I realized you were leading me into an encounter, but I was just going to say that doctors don't really understand, I guess, where I'm coming from with, I guess I just feel like I'm not understood in that. I'm not heard and not seen and not understood. But go ahead, please. Yeah, I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you shared that. Yeah. Okay, so just go ahead and close your eyes. And all you need to do is just focus on your breath. That's all. You don't have to do your breaths perfectly. You don't have to count. Just want you to notice the breath coming in to your body and going out. That's all we're here to do today is love on you. I'm here to love on you, and there's lots of women in the group who are just sending their love to you now from their heart. I just want you to picture your heart opening like a window and letting all that love come in. Just let all that love come in. And see it surrounding your heart. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I hear your desire to heal the anxiety, and I think that's so amazing. Yeah. Your willingness to feel is so amazing and so honorable. Your desire to receive and give love is so amazing. Yeah. And it makes so much sense to me why watching your mom having panic attacks when you were a little girl would be so scary. Yeah. So in this scene, I want you to see Jesus walking in, and he's not concerned. He knows exactly what to do, and he's going to take your mom's hand and he's going to walk her out of the room. He's going to talk to her in a different room, okay? Yeah. And then I want you to see Father God step into the room, and he's going to take your sister's hand and he's going to take her into another room. Yeah. Is it okay if Holy Spirit comes in to be with you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just want you to see Holy Spirit coming in. And I'm seeing her as feminine in this scene. I don't know if you're seeing that. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very angelic.
Yeah. So I just want you to see what she does and what she says. And again, she may communicate without words, but you still understand. But just see how she interacts with little Kathy.
You know, she's hugging me, just holding me and stroking my hair. She's telling me, I know you're afraid. It makes so much sense why you would be afraid, but fear not, for I am here with you. I'm here. I'm your comfort. I'm here to comfort you. You don't have to be scared anymore. Let me be the bigger person for you. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Confused about that. Just give it to me and come to me and I will give you rest. I don't want to sound religious, but that's the scripture that comes to mind.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't have to carry that anymore. That's my responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't know how not to be self-sufficient. I always try to do things on my own.
Yeah. Hey, Kathy, keep your eyes closed, but I want to ask you something, and I'm getting an impression, and we don't have to go here if you don't want to, but I'm just gonna say this, and then you get to decide, okay?
Uh-huh.
Um, I feel like there's an invitation to see your mom in her redeemed, glorified, heavenly state. Would that feel okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Where would you like to meet with her today?
My mom,
Yeah,
at Selah, my old church in the, yeah, sanctuary.
I love that. So I just want you to picture yourself walking through the main door of the church. You're gonna walk into the sanctuary next, okay? So just walk up to that door, and as soon as you open that door, there's just a lot of light that floods in. And a woman in the front pew turns around and looks at you, and it's your mama. Next.
She's telling me, I'm so sorry I couldn't be there for you.
Mm.
That was never my intention.
Mm.
I was doing the best I knew how to do.
Mm. Wow. Is there anything?
And then,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
and I think I just wanted to kneel down at the altar and pray with her beside me.
I love that.
I miss my mom, you know.
Good.
I don't really have her as much as emotionally like before.
Yeah. Mm. Mm.
I think I was her defender growing up, you know, like in savior mode for my mom.
Right.
Because I always, yeah.
Self pray with your mom at the
My
altar.
body feels like 1,000 degrees.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah. Like emotional hijack or something. I don't know what that's called. No, go ahead. You said pray with my mom.
Oh, are you able to see that? You guys are praying together? I
Yeah.
I don't know if this resonates with you or not, but I felt like I saw Jesus walk over and like lift up both of your heads, like to actually talk with him instead of like bowed heads and folded hands. Like he just lifted both of your chins, that like the three of you get to have a conversation.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Mm.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I am so messy right now. That's what he said.
You said you're so messy right now?
Yeah, I'm so messy with my tissues and my tears and toilet paper, all the teas.
Aw. Great. I think you're doing so great. The tears say that this mattered to you.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think I adopted that coding, and it was like anxiety was this big monster, I was so scared of it, and now I know where it's rooted, and it's rooted in the past, and I feel more empowered.
Is there anything else you wanted to say to your mom or to Jesus or to little Kathy?
Um, oh, um, little Kathy, I don't know. Can you give me some ideas?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to say, I love right now that you are letting yourself have tears and laughter at the same time. That's actually a really beautiful and powerful thing that I have seen and read about, that these two things work together to bring our emotions to a releasing point. So I just want to point
Oh, thank
out
you.
that everything is it's working through, and that's really powerful. So as far as little Kathy goes, I just want her to know that she's not crazy.
Yeah.
That's what's on my heart for little Kathy. You are not crazy. You are not.
There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me.
There's nothing wrong with her. And it makes kind of sense why you would feel really powerless and scared when the person who is there to nurture you and be big for you in your life, when they can't be big, that can be really scary, and it can make you not trust in a lot of things. This anxiety is not you. It's not who you are. It's not your core nature. But I do acknowledge that you're experiencing it, and it's real. I have a lot of compassion
Yeah.
and recognize that probably day in and day out, things are pretty challenging with it. I just want you to know I see you. And I see how you're trying to do all of life really well. And you're trying to make good decisions for your body. And you're trying to figure out what those decisions are. And that's a lot. A lot. Kathy, I just want to give your heart permission that if you have more tears to cry, you can cry them. If any anger comes up about this, you can be angry. If any more laughter comes up, you can laugh.
Yeah. I'm
And
angry that she passed it down. Like, dang it. I had to deal with this anxiety. But I'm glad I have tools now where, can pour love into it. But yeah.
Yeah. I also feel like I want to, I was going to say give you the gift, but I'm not actually the giver of this gift. It's available to you to receive, but just the gift of taking breaks from your process.
From my what?
Taking breaks from your process.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm behind right now. I'm on week 8 and I've been in week 8 forever because it just can be so. I think I died in 1,000%. I mean, too much. Yeah, because I'm like, I want to expedite it. I want to be this whole complete person like yesterday, and show up a certain way, and be accept, that longing for acceptance. Yeah. So I'm in week 8 and thrive. So there you go.
I think it's wonderful because it says that you knew you couldn't have been any further than before now.
Yes.
I think it's beautiful that you're like, all right, let's do thrive. Let's keep on this, but I'm going to take my time in a different way than maybe I'm seeing the people do it around me. I think it's incredibly honoring of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so welcome. If it feels like something that's accessible to you, I want to encourage you to connect with some other women in the group on anxiety so that you don't feel alone in that.
Yeah, that's so good. I can do that. Maybe just send something on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do sometimes feel all alone.
Yeah.
It's huge. Yeah.
It's been a long time since I had anxiety and depression, so I don't feel like it's in this experiential way. I want to be upfront about that, but I remember that it feels like it keeps you in a loop, and you can't really. It's hard to connect with looking forward to the future and things like that inside of anxiety. So I want to offer that there's good reason for it being there, and while anxiety is not something, that I think we want to speak over ourselves, like you said, I think it's also something to acknowledge that this is likely something that helped me cope in childhood, and it's love poured on that space that heals.
Right. Yes. Thank you so much. I'll definitely be playing this over and and over and over.
It's helpful. Thanks for being willing to be so tender with me and the group.
Yeah. You're welcome. I hope I help some other ladies. So, yeah.
All right, guys. Oh, wow. I just saw that we went over a little bit. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. That's awesome. I'm so glad to spend that time with you, Kathy. Yeah, Brittany and Bex are saying that was really helpful. So sweet, you guys. Love it, love it, love it. Such a gift to be with you. And yeah, it was just great to spend this time. So I hope you guys carry the sweetness into the rest of your day, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Oh yes, hang on, sorry everybody, pause. Thank you, Jenny. Jenny just reminded me there's a 1-hour Zoom room open right after this. We're gonna leave this room open. You guys can talk and connect, keep processing if you want, meet each other, all of